So, with the cherry over time, the goat, considering Saturn and a beehive, the thoughts that want to rule with, decisions and choices that are leaned in the soul like the scales of time, or the weighing of the heart in Egypt and the bondage of the flesh. The mind is a spirit box, and this spirit box is a radio. Considering frequencies and some being wireless, not all we can see or perceive, but we believe they are real. In opposition to God, science is our knowledge along with the advancement of technology, even though our intellect declines. How is this possible? Seems like a curse. Wisdom is much higher. Every spirit of man that is forgiven and forgotten in Christ, in which the hunter of hunters, the King of kings, has delivered all. Their seasons a different time. Iron sharpens iron. Imagine what is lacking in the DNA of women and women being men. What is in beef and what we have for dinner. Some things are spiritual. We need the sun. Which sun will we depend on? One is existential. Shining of the soul is different than wearing chains and gold and diamonds also. Decked out is the Pharaoh and the image. But does the knowledge oppose that of God is the difference that is subtle. Both men seem to shine, but the one on the corner that is old is illuminated of the mind. He speaks wisdom and life. One is a whore that has been stretched out by his desires, placed in this world and as a part of this world that loves itself. Its darkness is not known, as darkness correlates with ignorance. This ignorance no difference than the darkness we see as space when we look into night. We can only see it by the star's brightness. It's the separation we call divorce. Divorce of oneself would be the bridegroom. The church is without assembly. Time and space, traveling men and time travel. Philadelphia experiment also. The mind and the spirit, the psyche of the soul. Meditations and thoughts like frequencies on radios of overlapping personalities. And wireless devices. Frequencies that are unseen, that are common in thought, that are spirits between men. When we search for ghosts, we use ELFs, electronic low magnetic frequencies, to detect them. But we can do so with the Ouija board. Though I haven't tried it, this is not one of my delights. Considering conception or thoughts that you have does not mean that you produce them thoughts. And which scales you'll use, weighing and discerning, which ones will hit the heart and cause one to reflect and change. Considering mirrors and window panes, reflections upon reflections, the doorways would seem infinite. Christ, all within Christ, all within time, all within Christ is time. And men of all time and all seasons are within Christ. That which is separate perceives. And this perception is like a spirit box or a radio. King of Egypt, a Pharaoh. judging and discerning all things, even things that he has sensed. These are the ways of a pupil, considering who can see and who is blind. Let your judgments not be placed upon perception or perspective without history. Lean not to your own understanding, but God's, encompassing the whole picture. Better is to see the help that is needed and how that is expressed. It's the difference in civilization and anxiety and society. The men of a dead world and one of a renaissance. Peace and blessings be with you all. The radio of the mind, the spirit box. The record that plays in cycles and time cycles. The thoughts and spaces that men share with the thoughts that they share in those spaces based upon perception and perspective. Nothing is new under the god of Egypt, the Pharaoh we call Re. Conceptions of our thoughts and fruits we eat from. Considering our frequency and what our frequency is based on. I am nothing without God. Kanye West, Channel Zero, who is tuned in. Here we assemble for church.